I think we've got teams to look at. Analyzing teams for round 10. I've got about 16, I think, to go through. Just a shorter video, obviously being on holidays, but we've got a nice one here. I really like the setup here on the right with the writing. So if everyone can do that, that'd be cool. At the top here, team currently has 11 players for round 13. This includes everyone whose team plays. So I'll stop worrying about Origin since I can make 4 trades in round 13. So sitting with 19 currently, I think holding over the next little bit would probably generally be a better idea for sure. And you've got a couple of questions here on the left with Chualangi and Schneider. Hold or sell? I think based on the 19 that you've got, I'd be holding. I think they're holds anyway. So just even with the lesser trades, I think it's time to hold those guys. Pappenhausen, on the other hand, would be a trade out. And so we've got potential targets for round 10. We've got Grant, Elliott, Jackson, Tedesco, Jack Howarth, interesting, and Kemi Murray. All right, so Cam's out, unfortunately, big man. Yeah, TLT might add or subtract. All right, so really, do you need wing fullback cover? The answer is yes. And my answer to that question would be you have Taff or Kohler to plug in to wing fullback. Do you want to do that? And if the answer is yes, then I would be going for someone like Adam Elliott, a Josh Jackson, or a Harry Grant. If you're not going to worry too much about Origin because you already have the 11 playing, then I'd suggest going for one of those guys. If you just want to do a straight swap for Tedesco, I'd say it's a good idea as well. Cleary, I think for anyone worried about Cleary as captain, I wouldn't personally. I think he has every chance to have an amazing game. He has stepped up in big games majority of his career, and especially the last few years. If you see his scores, he's had a lot of games where he gets 100 against a great team. So I wouldn't be stressing about him. He's still the best option, and second best option would probably be like someone like Isaiah Papali'i. You can go for a Harry. Or a Munster, for example, are going to be great as well. Nico at the fullback position would be solid, but I think I would stick to the other guys personally. Payne Haas is also there as well, but what's going to happen? Is he going to get a knock and he's going to go off after 50 minutes again? A few things to think about. Current plan here, obviously last round's trades were Payne Haas out, which is obviously not ideal, but probably you trade in, obviously got your 81, which is nice, and the Crichton trade in worked out too. So what do I know? Hey, my current plan: hold Max to King, Schneider, Kohler, Tungo, Lola for 13, then move on for round 17 players. That's perfect, man. And apparently I've got to give the people what they want. I've got to show the guns. The guns are getting a bit fat at the moment, actually, unfortunately, but we're on holidays. We're allowed to be, right? So that's our first team. I hope you enjoyed that show. And seriously, if you've been on here watching these videos for a month, 3 weeks, and you still haven't subscribed, I'm disappointed, but I still love you. It's okay. But can you do it now? Oh, wait. 1 second. Click. Cool. Thank you. Low on trades and hoping to save. Is Starling concerned with Elliott playing hooker? I don't think he's concerned. He's still got 50 the week before playing the 60 minutes. It obviously would be better for him to be playing, the 80 minutes. He's generally guaranteed a 50 every week. Now he has to work a lot harder for that. He's going to have the odd game at 30 odd, but at 665 he's priced a little bit under 50. So if you can get a 55-60 and then get a 40, then it matches out to around that 50 mark or just below, which is okay. Well done holding on to Burton and Brown. Well done to you. When should we look to move to Alangion if he continues to score bad? Other than that, we hold on. He's got 40, 45, 42 in his last 3 games before the 18. So just bank on him going back to that 40. And if he doesn't, then we can work it out from there. What to do with Tungo? I think we just hold, man. You don't have to play him if you don't want to. Looks like you probably have to in this one. Papa Sell and who for? Yes, anyone I spoke about in the buy, hold, sell video. You can go straight to a Teddy. You can go a little bit lighter with Drinky or these types of guys. Reece Walsh, for example. And then you can go to, if you've got cover like you do, you can go up to any other position that you'd like. And any of the buys that I've been speaking about would be a good idea. All right. Ben Peebles or Sarakis as cheapy pickup. Ben would probably be your best option, Ben Trebojevic. I'm still not sure on that one. What's going to happen? We have no idea. Literally, it's just a complete up in the air on that one. I don't want to bring in a guy, personally, that has the potential to be out for the next, in a couple of weeks, misses round 13 or plays round 13 off the bench. And it's a bit of a mess. But there is also an opportunity if you need to make a risk. And take a risk that you can trade him in and he makes a fair bit of cash over the next few weeks. He does have a couple of tough ones, but if he could come in and score really well in 13 as well, and you can obviously get a pretty good score from him, decent score this week in the centers. Just don't expect 60s. I'm expecting 30s, and he'll probably make 100, 150k potentially, but it has a big risk. So that's my thoughts on Benjabojevic there. And Peoples and Sarakis, I don't think are options at this point, unfortunately. Best guns and mids to pick up. Yeah, spoke about in the buy, hold, sell, so jump in that. Obviously, you got Payne Haas back. You got to trade Murray, unfortunately, and Pap. So I'd just get 2 guns. I'd potentially just go, if you're already playing Taff, I'd go straight to Teddy or another gun in the wing fullback position. And then I would go straight to one of the top guns, whether it's Papali'i or Josh Jackson, Tamalolo, these types of players in the middle or edge position. I think that is or definitely mids because you got no dual. Yeah, that's where I go in this one. I don't want to hold the Pappy and double down grade Leo and Walters to cheapies. Nah, you already got Kohler. You got, yeah, I wouldn't do that, man. 22 trades left. I think you can make the 2 this week and not fall too far behind. You don't want to fall into the 10,000 ranks for there. All right, this is Jamie Hughes Guards, which is Derek from the Discord. Welcome. 18th rank. That's awesome, man. Well done. Absolutely killing it so far. All right, Pap and Walters to Adam and Burton. Is that Adam Elliott? I'd imagine. Yes. Okay. All right. We have Teddy down there. Sweet. You can use this cover. You got Taylor May. Just put Taylor May straight in. Yeah, man. Yeah, lock it in. I think that's cool. I like that. I like that setup a lot. What does that do for you? Yeah, that sets the team up nicely. You got Crichton, you got Papali'i, you got Grant up there. Hastings, looking good, man. Captain Papali'i, Roosters. Yeah, I think that's solid, man. If you want to, just be aware that if Paps gets 50 and Cleary gets 80, you might be upset, but it could be the same the opposite way. So, is what it is. Yeah, I like the theory there. Bench with Ilias, Tui, Taff, and Starling. After trading in Burton earlier, I'll just start Schneider or Tungo over any of these guys. Taff. I'd probably go. Geez, I don't really like the Taff playing, but I'd probably go. Schneider has the he's got 220s, but the rest are 40s, so more chances you can get that than what Taff has. And Tungo obviously against the Storm could be a tough one, so I'd personally probably go for Schneider over Taff, but up to you. I like Ilias starting is fine there. I got the Warriors, so it'll be fine. All right, so we're thinking Pap to Teddy. Was a bit torn on going Arrow to Jackson, given he's a 13 this week. I would hold Arrow until 13 now. He's got a good opportunity to score around the 50 mark, and Jackson could probably get around that mark as well, or slightly above. So I feel like it's not needed right now, and you can trade really hard around 13 if you like. Given you've got 24 trades and 220 in the bank, I think that's a good idea. Probably just go the one trade this week. If we play Penasini, I suppose you could make 2 if you wanted to. You could upgrade a little bit elsewhere too. Whether you wanted it, I know a lot of people are against Snyder. You could upgrade Snides. You could upgrade Walters to someone at, what's that going to be? If you get Pap down to Ted, you'll have 250 on that. So a 550k mark. You've already got Elliott. You just have a think about that. You can potentially do that. I'll just do the one trade. I think it's going to be solid too. Team's looking good, but all right. Overall thoughts on team. Sexton on the beach. Pengai, I like. Paps captain. Everyone's flicking Cleary after 1 week. I love this. Can't wait for Cleary to come out and get 100 this week. Burton in there is good. Stuck with him the whole way. Well done. What's it with Tui? Just hold, man. If you don't want to play him, that's fine. Yeah. Need to sell Pappy. There's no wing fullbacks I like except To'o and of Ted, but Origin. Any other options? Yeah, just a cheaper guy. I said Drinkwater, Reece Walsh. Holding Crichton would be nice. So you'll see my team shortly that I just, you could just trade, just slide him in there. J King and Puppy to Cotter and To'o. I'd avoid To'o because he's going to have Origin too, man. Same thing with Reece Robson instead of Cotter. Yeah, either way is fine. Pappy and Schneider to McInnes and To'o. McInnes is an interesting one. But yeah, To'o is going to be an Origin, so I wouldn't do that. Pappy to someone and save a trade. Yeah. Just do Paps to whichever one of those guys you want. If you want to bank some cash, you can go a little bit lighter to Walshy, Drinkwater, those types of guys. Or just, you've got Taff, you've got Kohler. You could play Taff if you wanted to and upgrade elsewhere, but I think you've got Pangai, you've got Papali, you've got Haas, you've got Grant up there. You've got plenty of good upgrades. The halves are looking good, so I think just straight swapping to one of those guys would be ideal. If you want to upgrade elsewhere, you can, in other weeks, you can go straight to one of those cheaper guys. All right, Rocco needs some big help with trades. I feel like an idiot trading Haas. Yes, I'm going to call you an idiot. I love you, Rocco Strawberry. But yeah, man, he's on the reserves this week. Came back and had a good game. Can you give me some thoughts on that, Rocco, as to how you went on the weekend? Want to pair Lolo with another gun mid? Okay, well that's fair. Then perhaps if you're doing that, you got Kohler, Crichton, Hines. That'll be fine, man. You can then do that if you got no Taylor May. Oh, poor bloke. Um, but you can go Paps up if you want to one of those gun mids. You got plenty of cash in the bank. You can get anyone you want, which is cool. Pap and J King to iPaps and Meanie. I don't like the Meanie trade in, but up to you. I think you just play Kohler this week. If we're being honest, up to you though. If you want to do that, I think J King's just a hold until 13 anyway. Paps Schneider to Elliott and iPaps. That one's probably better. If you're not too worried about, you got 21 trades. If you're not too worried about heading into Origin, up to you. Perhaps J King to Turbo JJ. Perhaps Starling to iPaps Cotter. Starling's a hold. Second one's probably a better one out of all them. And Starling's not a sell. I think he's a hold. Yeah, good luck anyway. Two of us are Shrek. Made 2 trades this week, being Pap to Teddy, Leo to Elliott. Nice. Yeah, I Pap in the team soon. If you're playing overall, man, I'm probably personally going to wait now until 14 and get him in there and just lock him in for the rest of the year. Cop the 900k that he's going to cost, but just get him in now I think is good. Hold on to Schneider, I am personally. I'm going Cleary for captain over those two for sure. How many buy-around plays should have my team come 13th? Yeah, just check out that video I just did. But really, generally around the 12 to 15 would be perfect. And yeah, go from there. Taylor may look like a keeper in the centers. Yeah, potentially, man. He's doing really well. There's no one really good in the wing fullbacks either at the moment with Pap out. So he's definitely one to stick to. But yeah, team's looking solid, man. Just keep working on it from here. You've already used the 2 trades this week. Just kind of hold steady over the next few weeks, 1 a week maybe, until round 13. The Para Beast. Thinking of moving on Tui this week if you want to. I think he's a hold. I think I'll start Elias in round 13 for another half that plays round 13. Yeah, solid, man. Moale, nah, just hold, man. You do have the Nofaluma injury is annoying. Yeah, trade out. I think that's silly. I think Russell's less chance of making it back than Moale and has that little bit extra you can trade out to. I just don't think it's needed. Thankfully, I have some extra trades left. But yeah, I think I'll take a punt and pick a different captain this week as Cleary plays Storm. Yeah, it doesn't mean he's going to have a bad week, though. Up to you if you want to. That's fine. So I only have the 1 hooker in my team. Which hooker should I bring in? Oh, you got rid of Randall, hey? Well, Harry's your best, really. Harry, Damien Cook. Other than that, no one really to pick up. You can have Cotter as dual if you want to go with that. What should I do with Schneider and Tongue? I think they're both holds. You consider moving if you want. Perhaps it's out, so get rid of him 4 to 6 weeks after assuming you've sent this a little bit early in the week. The rest of the guys, I love the DCE. You got Ted down there already. Pretty well set, man. DCE. All right, should just play head-to-head or playing overall? Play both, man. Why not? Try and do really well as you can overall and win your head-to-heads as you go. If it comes to a decision near the end and you're like, oh, I'm not going to win the comp, obviously, but it can be a better head-to-head decision, then make that as well. You're welcome, Green Gang. I'll check that out. Eventually sell to Alungi Jones. I think Jones is the first trade out of them. So maybe you can do that this week if you want. Is King closer to a keeper with these scores? Maxi, Maxi, not close to a keeper, but I think you can hold him until round 14, or at least somewhere in that 14 to 17. Forget Teddy, is Coates still a hold? You can trade Coates out if you want. He's at a nice price now. He's made a bit of cash. He's probably scored you a couple of decent scores. So you can move him on if you like. Pappy to Teddy or Pappy to a round 13 player. Play Cola or Coates. You can play Coates, but up against he's probably going to need a lower game this week, lower score. Yeah, I think just Jones is a big one, and then you can go Pappy to Teddy. You could go Jones out for an out of Elliott, and Paps to Teddy if you want to do that. Elliott will play round 13, so that's obviously a good trade in. Teddy won't, but that's fine. You have 22 trades, not too bad at this point. Happy with the rest of the squad. All right, the work rate. Also, what do we got? 21 trades, 135 in the K in the bank. What to do with Paps? I've obviously answered that one. Turbo viable option, or is it Teddy or bust? Turbo's a viable option. I think either way is fine. If you want to go that route, then that's sweet. He just hasn't had those big games this year, which I'm waiting for. How many trades should I keep for round 13? Just check that recent video I made there. Do I hold Starling if he continues to get these minutes? Yeah, he'll probably. He got a 52 the week before. Good chance he does that again. What else? You got a bunch of cheapies on the bench there, which isn't ideal, but there's not really much you can do at the moment. Walters might be trade out eventually. I was thinking using my 135k to upgrade Schiller, Paps and Shills to Turbo and Suali'i. Don't really like it. You could go like a Ben Trebojevic if you wanted to. You got that extra cash to do that. Would be fine. Pap to Turbo, Shills to, or Rushton, whichever one you want to do, to Ben Trebojevic, Braden Trindle, potential as guys that could score well. You could play, I think Trindle you could definitely play in your interchange or your starting side. So either of them will make a little bit of money. Obviously a bit of a risk, but they're better than the guys that you've got currently. So team's looking solid, man. You got plenty of keepers, which is great. Keep it up. All right, I thought this was really cool, guys. Ranked 11 last week in the round 10 rank and had a 261 rank the week before. So absolutely killed it, which is really nice. And you can see the overall rank improving. I like this. This is where the overall ranks and round ranks were each and every week, which is really cool. So well done for coming 11th last week and getting such a massive score. Trade history is up there as well, so we can have a little quick look at that. I thought it would be cool to check that out. When you've got obviously Russell doing really well, they're getting injured. Brought in Baker, which probably wasn't the best one, but Josh King early was a great trade in. Taylor May, great trade in round 3, and Nicho Hines, well done for that. Jones and Starling were good. Cotter has worked out pretty well with Paps. Yeah, good to get them in. DC and Ilias. Liam Knight, not the best trade. Oh, Josh King to Liam Knight, ouch. Randall and Leo Thompson for Tavanga and Hastings. Tavanga was okay. Burton, Elliott last week were good, and this week Paps, Billy Smith to Tohu and Jackson. Okay, I think you can hold off on Tohu for 1 week, but up to you on that one. Generally, majority of them are pretty good trades, but yeah, obviously you gambled on Liam Knight, gambled a little bit on Fletcher Baker, for example. But the rest of them you're trying to bring in keepers, which was called Nicho Hines, Paps, Cotter, DCE, Hastings, Burton, these types of guys. So good trade-ins. Good trade-ins there for sure. All right, in terms of the squad now, final trades before 13, this would be. Okay. If you can, play Ilias this week. Yeah, probably. I'd hold to around 13. I just like that trade history and the ranking thing down the bottom. So thanks for doing that. That was cool. Thought a few people would enjoy that one. And improving the overall rank down to 4-3-9-3. All right, couple to go. Thanks for the Seagulls versus Eels match highlights in the top left corner. Appreciate that. How do you do? What's Adam doing? Dropping ranks fast. Suited pick up for Pap, who should prioritize dropping this week. Just Pap would be the single trade out that I would probably do in this squad. Yeah, the rest of the guys, you can probably move up Ilias into somewhere near the playing side, but just Pap to whoever you want in that wing fullbacks would be sweet. Other than that, I wouldn't do anything in that one. All right, this has to work. 1,000 overall rank, 22 trades, lots going on. Possible trade out Schneider, keep. Tui, keep. Taff, yeah, who are you going to trade him for? Leo picked him ready to go. You could trade him to Trindle, Trebojevic, those type of guys. Pap could be out for some time. Definitely going to trade Pap out. Tungor, really like to show up my forwards with a Pap to Josh Jackson. Yeah, that's solid. You got Crichton, Hines, Taylor May. You could move down there. Center, you could play Kohler, for example. You could bring Tungor down. Yeah, okay, you could do that. You don't have to trade in a wing fullback if you like. You could shore up your mids if you want. Yeah, I think that's a good idea with playing Leo Thompson. You don't have Haas. Yeah, get in JJ would be sick. That's probably the only trade I'd do this week, if I'm being honest. Or you could downgrade a Leo if you wanted to, now that you're going to have JJ up there. Oh no, you got Haas. Beautiful. Easy. Didn't see him at the bottom. Yes, if you bring in JJ, and you could downgrade Leo and bank some cash and make the second trade to one of the guys I spoke about. That'd be cool. Well done. All right. Rogue, Renegade, Rainman. What trade should I do this week, if any? Pappy seems like a trade. Get rid of him. Yep. Go straight. Teddy, is it worth trading someone like Starling to Cotter? Bit sideways. Cotter's doing great, but they both play around 13. 23 trades is nice, but Kobe's obviously, I think, 1 to go. This week, minutes are going to be lower. Jones, I think, actually should go first. Jones before Hetherington. You could trade, if you go Pap to Teddy, you got Elliott. You got a little bit of cash anyway to make. You can downgrade if you want to a Trindle or a Trebojevic. Other than that, probably not a lot to choose this week. And you could play one of those guys. So you're obviously a bit light in the interchange there. So you could play a Trindle, for example, or Trebojevic this week. I think that would be solid. All right, last one. The Bathurst Bandits. G'day, Jamie. Hope you're well. Up the mighty Dubs. Yes, it was a great win. I just wanted some tips on what I should be doing next. I'm pretty confident on keeping Tungor, Schneider, Critter for round 13. A solid Paps cover. Nice. Main trade that I'm thinking of this week is Paps to Tohu. Big gamble since his first game back. I definitely think it's a gamble. I wouldn't do it this week, but it's up to you. Nervous about Tulangi, but figure I'll give him at least another week. Yeah, he's been getting 40, so pretty happy with rank and number of trades and sitting at 12.9 million. That's beautiful. Yeah, rank's solid. Any advice would be awesome. Keep up the great content you work. Definitely doesn't go unnoticed, Legend. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. So, the team. Pap. Yeah, what do you need? You don't really need wing fullback cover, so you can trade him for anyone you want. 92k in the bank gives you a bit to play with. One trade would be fine this week. 2 trades would also be fine, but I think there's only one available. Looks very similar to my team, without Grant. To be fair, yeah, I just get the 1 trade and pick whoever you want, man. I think that's the best way to go about it. And just hold steady on Tuolangi and these types of guys and see what happens over the next week or two, and then you can make a decision from there. But really like where your trades are sitting at. Team's looking good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We will jump in do the trades for the week. It's going to be a very interesting one with that, and then we'll get into round 10. It's exciting. We're almost halfway through and almost getting towards the origin time, which is always a bit of fun. I was just thinking again, like how fun next year is going to be when there's going to be a team with a bye each and every week. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be fun for sure. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.